This story happened in Longan District, Huludao City, Liaoning Province on December 10, 2015. I was working at a harbour there at the time. My colleagues and I lived together in a dormitory not far from the harbour. There was an abandoned building next to our dormitory. One day the three of us had a little drink after work. Yin, the bravest of the three, came up with the idea that we would explore the abandoned building. He said that the abandoned building used to be the office of a large company. Normally we would object, but because we were drunk that day, the ghost somehow made the two of us follow Yin. But when we got there, we both regretted it. If the building looked somber during the day, it was even scarier at night. Another colleague of mine was Sam, who was not very big but very brave. Sam wanted us to go back, however, despite Yin's ridicule and irony that Sam was a coward, Sam still decided to continue, and I didn't have any opinions of my own. Although I was a little scared, I didn't fall far behind when the two of them were walking. After entering the abandoned building, we realized that there was indeed a fire before, and there were traces of smoke everywhere. It was very dark inside the house. We relied on the light from the mobile phone in Yin's hand to shine, looked at some of the rooms inside, but were quite disappointed. The rooms were empty. They seemed to have been cleaned up after the fire, but nothing was left. At this point, we decided to go out. Yin was thinking about something. He saw several houses in front of him that did not appear to be on fire. He also saw some items that were kept and asked to check them out. There were indeed some things in the rooms, but they were all shabby furniture. They hadn't been used in years. There was a smaller corridor in front of some rooms. We decided to go down that road. Sam convinced us to come back, but Yin ignored him, and Sam didn't dare to go out alone, so he had to follow. At the door of a room, Yin suddenly stopped as if something inside caught his attention. Sam and I followed Yin together and looked inside. We saw a person in the corner sleeping with a tattered duvet, looking like a homeless person. But slowly we all discovered something was wrong. The person didn't show any reaction, especially the bare feet with a dead grey color. Yin felt curious and wanted to go ahead and see if the person was alive or dead. "I'll see if the person is dead or not," Yin said. "Don't be so crazy," I tried to stop him. We both convinced Yin not to check that person because we might get in trouble, but Yin had a very stubborn character. The more we tried to stop him, the more he wanted to do it. Finally, he stepped forward and opened the tattered duvet. This moment made our hearts feel like jumping out because no one knew if it was a corpse or a living person. But as soon as the duvet was opened, we were all scared. It was a dead wanderer. The body was rotting. It could be seen that he had been dead for some time. His skin was dry and disfigured. Seeing the horrible appearance of the corpse, Sam went to the back and vomited in disgust. I also hid far away, not daring to look directly. But Yin was brave, not afraid at all, mocking us for cowardice. Not only did he not leave, he even ran to the corpse and asked Sam to take a photo of him with the corpse. At first, Sam disagreed, but seeing Yin's appearance as if he wouldn't leave, he didn't take a photo. Sam had no choice but to take a photo for him. Yin didn't stop, and he asked to take a few more pictures before leaving in the end. Yin was completely satisfied, and we hurried back to the dormitory. Honestly, when I arrived there I wasn't so scared, but now that I knew there was a dead man in the building behind our dormitory, I was so scared. The way back became very scary. I always felt that there were ghosts following me. Fortunately, we all made it home safely. The thrilling adventure of the night had ended safely. After the horrible night last night, we all went to work as usual. At noon, Sam suddenly panicked and ran into my office with a panicked face. He said that Yin didn't come to work this morning. His phone was unreachable. Yin was keeping a piece of material that Sam was in urgent need of right now. Sam was very thoughtful, feeling that this must have been something to do with what happened last night. He asked me to go with him to the abandoned building. Ever since we saw the dead man last night, we had been terrified of this abandoned building. But I found Yin and it was daytime, so we still dared to come here. Following memory, we followed the path we took last night and began to look for Yin. Honestly, I didn't know why. Even during the day, this building looked so dark and spooky. The two of us took the road that we went on last night. Soon we reached the dead wanderer room and we looked inside, trembling. We immediately saw the tattered duvet covering the dead, but we also realized that it was different from last night. The overhanging shape of the duvet obviously didn't cover one more person, and a bad premonition arose in both of us. Although Sam was very scared, he and Yin were both from the same hometown and knew each other before. He was worried about Yin, so he dared to remove the torn tattered duvet. But as soon as we opened it, we were both completely dumbfounded. Sure enough, Yin was already dead under the duvet. He died next to the rotting corpse of the Wanderer. No one knew why Yin came here or how he died. Sam and I couldn't imagine anything anymore. Later, the police came to handle the body and concluded that Yin died of sudden heart failure, but Sam and I understood that Yin's death stemmed from a lack of respect for the deceased.